Are you thinking about becoming a real estate agent? Or maybe you've just started out and you're feeling completely lost? Then stick around because this video is for you. Today I'm going to break down what I wish I knew before I got started. And I'm going to reveal the things to you that nobody tells you about, or things that I feel you need to know if you want to survive and thrive in the business. So first up, the reality of a real estate career. A lot of people think that real estate is fast money, it's easy hours, and you're just dealing with luxury homes. What is the truth? The truth is it's a grind. You don't get a salary, there is no guarantee of success, and most new agents struggle to even get a single deal in or bring in a single deal for the first 6 to 12 months of their careers. So if you're considering getting into real estate, I think you need to ask yourself these questions. Can you handle an uncertainty around your income? And what I mean by that is that it's commission only. You do not get a salary. Are you self-motivated? Do you drive yourself? Do you have no need to be micromanaged or given direction? And to tie back to the first point, do you have at least 6 months worth of savings to cover your personal expenses as you adjust to your new career in real estate? And then the next point is, do you have a thick skin? Can you take rejection? Can you handle it? Can you take it like water off of a duck's back? Rejection is rife in the industry. You will face so much rejection that you just need to have a very thick skin. You need to be able to take it on the chin and carry on. And the last point is, are you humble enough to learn the skills needed to succeed in the industry? Are you humble enough to learn marketing techniques, networking techniques, and everything else that goes with building a successful career? If you've hesitated at most of the questions, or you've answered no to all of the questions above, then real estate's not the option for you. I'm sorry to say it. It might be if you do some self-reflection down the line and you look back at these questions and you build yourself up to a point where you can answer yes to everything. But if the answer was no for now, then I would suggest looking at something else. So then let's get into the nuts and bolts of what I wish I knew before becoming an agent. And this is specifically for the new agent feeling lost. You need to look at it like you are running a business. As an agent, you're not an employee. You are an independent contractor. Meaning that most agencies, and I'm not going to get into the nuts and bolts of what different agency structures look like, but the crux of the matter is that estate agencies give you the opportunity to act as an independent contractor and build your own business within their framework and within their policies and procedures. You have the ability to build your own business. And with that, you need to manage and run it as such. So an action tip around running your own business within the real estate role as an agent is that you need to start tracking your leads, you need to start tracking your expenses, and you need to generate sales goals for yourselves, and you need to really be disciplined in tracking and measuring everything you do so that you can save costs, streamline and optimize, and grow your business. Point number 2, I wish I was told about prospecting when I started many years ago as a commercial broker. So I started as an estate agent's assistant for 3 years, built up my knowledge base. I learned, I was a sponge. I helped 2 very top performing agents build manage and build their business. And then I moved on as a new agent, and I was dealing with the commercial real estate space. And they kind of just threw me in the bullpen and left me to my own devices. So what I wish someone told me was that prospecting is everything in this business. Absolutely everything. And the truth about it is prospecting is uncomfortable. But the more you do it, the more it becomes, the more comfortable you get with doing it, and the more it becomes kind of like muscle memory. Okay, and this is where most agents fail. Real estate has one of the highest turnover, I can't say staff because you're not an employee, but just for the lack of a better phrase, staff turnover. People come in and they leave because it is difficult. And most of them fail because they don't prospect enough. A lot of agents wait for leads to come in, and if you adopt a policy or a strategy of hope, then your only strategy is to fail. So how do we prospect? I'm not going to go into the depth of what prospecting is. That can be done in another video, but to give you a list, it involves cold calling, cold texting, cold emailing, networking, social media outreach, and literally, well, I've said networking, and networking doesn't mean just going out to a fancy event, eating croissants and having champagne. It's literally if you're standing in the queue at your local grocery store, being friendly, chatting to people. And as I said, I'm not going to the nuts and bolts of it. Don't be like, hey, I'm an agent, I can help you. There's a strategy behind it. You don't want to have what people call in the sales industry commission breath, because it's very off-putting. You need to get comfortable with the fact that you will not know everything, and that is okay. One of my biggest fears starting out was not having all the answers. And here's a little bit of the truth for you, or here's the truth for you. You don't have to know everything. You just have to know how to find the answers. So here's an action tip. If a client asks you something and you don't know the answer, don't lie. Okay? You can respond with, that's great. That's a great question. I don't have the answer for you, but let me find out for you and get back to you with that, if that's all right. Straightforward. No more to it. Don't lie or make stuff up. It's the quickest way to lose trust and credibility. Number 4 is the value in following up. The follow-up is where the gold is. I can't tell you how many times I have sold a property to the person who inquired on it. Every time I get an inquiry on a particular property, 10 to 1, they do not buy it. What they do is they come out and have a look, and I use that opportunity to network with them, get a bit of more of an understanding of what looks good, what feels good, what they want out of their property. I kind of use it as my screening time, my face-to-face screening time with my clients. Yes, you can do it on the phone, and that's great. You should do it on the phone. But use that first viewing as the screening time, and then stay in contact with that person, because they will normally buy another property that you have in your books that matches the spec that they're looking for. And the only way you get to that is if you follow up. There are so many agents that just churn the leads that come in on their listings, and if it's not a fit, they just let them go. No, have a CRM or a list set aside of these inquiries that come through on a specific listing, and match them to your other listings or other listings that other agents have within your team, within your branch, because you can get a referral out of that. But the only way you increase your chances of selling to those inquiries is by staying in touch and following up. So as I said, the action tip here is make sure you use a CRM. If your agency doesn't have one for you, Then there are many cheap or very cheap alternatives online that you can use. It would be a perfect opportunity to kind of create a bit of a referral or an affiliate link, but I want to provide value to you guys today. So just go out and have a look, do a quick Google search. And moving on to number 5, what nobody told me as a standalone agent is that the first year in business is the hardest. I did my first deal, tiny deal, in my first 3 months. It was month 3. Then for the next 3 months, no deals. Month 6, substantially bigger deal. So that's two deals in a 6-month period. Then for another 6 months, no deal. At my 1 year mark, an even bigger deal done. So in a 1 year cycle, 3 deals in my first year as a standalone agent. And then after a year and a half of grinding, pushing, building up a pipeline, I set a record for myself. For myself, what was the biggest transaction I'd done to that point in time was a 12 million rand commercial sale. And I'd run and followed up with that inquiry for a year. She was looking at, I think, hundreds of properties through myself and other agents at other agencies. But I followed up with her, and after a year of dealing with her and a year and a half as a standalone agent, I set what was, as I said, a record price of 12 million rand commercial sale at that time. So that proves the value in what I've said to you before. And now I think we're going to move on to a list of practical steps that you as a new agent can take to just kind of give yourself some direction and drive your business in a positive flow. So I want to push out to you guys that teamwork makes the dream work. And I know that in every agency there are always difficult personalities, different agents that you need to deal with. But the reality is, going it alone makes your journey 10 times harder. My advice to you new agents is to find an experienced agent or a team of agents within your agency that can guide you. Even if it means that you don't earn commission or a split off of their deals, your earning is in your learning. Most agents are awesome people and they'll give you a split, like maybe a 10 to 20% split off the top of the commission, but that's not a guarantee. It's an understanding you can come to with them. Maybe they want your help doing appointments or screening inquiries or setting a show day for them. Whatever it is, keep good relationships with your colleagues, because remember, they're also a network. They can refer seller leads to you, buyer leads to you, landlord leads to you, tenant leads. Create positive relationships with the other agents within your agency and learn like a sponge. The experience, I grew from an estate agent assistant. I was there for 3 years. And then after 3 years of doing the slog, it was nice. I got a commission for everything I did with them, plus a basic salary as an estate agent's assistant at 21, 22 years old. That was very cool. But after 2.5, nearly 3 years, I was ready to go out on my own. And if I didn't have the foundation and the knowledge that I learned from the 2 agents I worked with and for, I would never have been able to build a career for myself. Here I am 12 years later. I would never have been able to do it. Impossible. So learn like a sponge. The second actionable point is to go online and learn marketing strategy. Create a simple but actionable marketing strategy for yourself, not for properties, for yourself. You don't need a huge marketing budget, only a strategy. So you can focus on social media, community networking, i.e. if you're religious, your local mosque, church, If you're not religious, community get-togethers, maybe neighborhood watch meetings, etc., etc. Whatever it is, get active in your community and network, and just build a strategy of low-cost lead generation methods. If you're going the social media route, guys, it is important that you remain consistent and post 3 to 5 times a week on your social media, especially capturing when you're attending local events, to let people know who you are, what you do, and also lead with value. Guys, people don't want to be jammed, have the fact that you're a real estate agent thrown in their face 24/7. Yes, every now and again it's good to remind them of who you are, what you do, and what you're up to. But for the most part, lead with value. If you have happened to find out some very interesting local crime stats, like the crime in your area has dropped because of community policing efforts, share that with your network. Share that kind of content. Lead with value. I'll get into that in another video, but you understand what I'm putting down? I hope so. If you understand that, or if you have specific questions around your personal branding marketing strategy, leave a comment down below. I'll set up a separate conversation with you, and we can see what we can put together. All right. So if you need some help, drop a comment, like the video, and share it with other people that you know that might be starting out in the industry. If they can get some value from this, you're already a good friend. Okay, on to the next point. Set daily routine. Get into a routine, guys. That is so important. All right. So an example of a routine would be between 9 and 11 a.m. you're prospecting. Okay, between 11 and 12 p.m. you're learning, watching training videos, maybe attending training events or whatever. Between 12 and 2, having a bit of lunch and doing a bit of light admin, and then between 2 and 4, you're doing property showings, you're meeting property owners for comparative market analyses, and etc. Between 4 and 5, you can focus on social media marketing strategy and following up, because most of your clients will be home or on their way home. So for you, structure your day any which way you want. That was just a guideline. And if you do not stick to a routine, that is also another way for you to get lost and fizzle out. Consistent action requires routine and discipline. And the only way you're going to grow in this business is with consistency, discipline, and motivation. It's hard to stay motivated, trust me, I know. But the only way to stay motivated is if you have the first two. Okay? Consistency, routine. Only way. So I'm going to close this video, guys, with my final thoughts. And if you have watched this far, then you're serious about making your real estate career work for you and turn out positively. I just want you to remember that I know it isn't easy, but it's okay. If other people can make it happen, so can you. It doesn't take anything special. It just takes the willingness to do the work and to take what people teach you and put it into practice. So adopt a positive mindset, put in consistent effort, be willing to learn, and you can make it happen. You can succeed. I know you can. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you need help with setting up a simple marketing strategy, and we can get to work on that. If you're watching this maybe down the line and I don't have the time, that's fine. There might be more resources available. And if there are resources available, you'll find it at links that I'll put down below. But for the meantime, let's see what we can get together and help you guys set up a simple marketing strategy to just get you going. And for the time being, that's it for me for today. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll chat again soon. Bye-bye.